A's Extra.
Welcome back on the Anglers Extra pregame show ahead of Game 37 on the Cape League season. We are winding down, and we're here at Gov Fuller Field before Chatham and Falmouth. It's time for the catch of the day. I'm Hudson Ridley, joined by Chatham assistant Taylor Sanagorski. Taylor, last night, a 10-0 win, and it really seemed like the guys were having fun last night. What is it like being with a team when they have fun in that way?
Man, it's exciting. I think that's the biggest thing is, that's why they're out here, right? One, to perform, but then two, you bring a collection of players in to be a part of something, more than themselves. And when you can go out and have a, really fun day that was high-powered, especially in that 7-run inning, I mean, you saw all of a sudden, all the double celebrations and everybody getting after it. And I think that's what, as a coach, you always want to see.
Do you feel like assistant coaches have even more of a role to play in terms of keeping the energy of the team high? Yeah,
that's that was something that I wanted to come in with, obviously, as my role, I want to be high energy, right, and bring a lot of that every day. This can be a long season, especially with, the number of players that we have, right? Guys are playing every day, and it's a challenge at times. And so, for me, it was just, let's bring a lot of fun and let's get after it, every day.
What does high energy look like to you?
Man, it's just, it's playing with emotion, right? Like it's high-fiving, it's celebrating, it's not being afraid to just compete, right? And that's the biggest word that we said a lot, that it's a challenge to do it every day, and when you can kind of separate each day, and play one pitch at a time and just compete and like I said, just go after it. And I think that's the biggest thing, and that it's a challenge. It's a learning curve for these guys to play a full college season and then to come into summer and continue to do it. But, just, having fun and getting after it, man.
Do you notice a difference in the guys when they have fun and get after it?
Yeah, I mean, they're professional about it, but it's a lot of it, honestly, it's just executing their approach and their plan, whether that's on the plate or up at the plate or out in the field. I mean, it's just, again, it's more, honestly, it's discipline. And I think when they're disciplined in what they're supposed to do, then it's rewarding, and when they get rewarded, that's where the fun is.
Chatting with assistant coach Taylor Sanagorski ahead of Game 37 on the Cape League season against Falmouth. Taylor, you didn't arrive for Game 1. It took you a little bit longer to get in. You had the birth of your first child that ended up making you a little bit later to get out here. What was it like waiting back in Kansas to come out here?
Man, my wife is an absolute rock star, and it's funny. I think it's poetic as a baseball coach, right, that she was supposed to be induced on opening day, right, and so super nervous. Obviously, we ended up having our baby boy Tate on Father's Day, so it was a really special moment. But opening night, she's in labor, and I got the iPad pulled up, and I'm watching you guys, and I'm watching JT Quinn pitch just a gem, and the fog roll in for the first time, and so got here, I think 8 games in, and then for them to come up here a couple weeks into the season and be able to stay here the remainder, I mean, it's special. So just really, really fortunate to have them up here and to have everybody around be so welcoming and supportive of us.
You had your wife and Tate come out pretty much almost instantly. That's a really big trip to make for such a young kid. How did Tate deal with that trip out here?
Man, you got to get my wife on here and ask her, right? She was a rock star. Her parents and came with her and drove them up, and it's a 26-hour, 28-hour trip. They did it in 3 days. Broke it up. They got to stop and feed them and change them and do all that stuff. And so I'll get a taste of that when we go home after the season's over. But yeah, it was special. I mean, I just again, I think Coach Doe said it earlier. When you find somebody, like, as a baseball coach, you got to marry a rock, right? Somebody that's rooted in it and loves baseball as much as we do, or even more so. And so she's a little crazy, but it's a good crazy, and it's fun, to be able to share this experience with both of them.
It's been quite some time since they came out at that point. Now you finally got the chance to settle in, and it feels like the season ending is right around the corner at this point. How have you felt about your performance in coaching this season as a whole?
Yeah, it's a long, short summer. Is a good way to put it, right? I know everybody that plays every day. It's a grind. It's Groundhog Day over and over to get up and go do the same thing. But it's short, and I think there's been a lot of learning that I've had as a coach, but hopefully can provide some of that to the players and just, again, just try to give them a little bit in their career, and, rooting obviously all of them the best of luck, and excited to see what they can do.
Yeah. Dennis Cook has talked a lot about specific points of growth with certain players. Are there any specific players where you've noticed directly, hey, this aspect has gotten better?
Yeah, I would like the players to probably speak more about that themselves. I don't want to give too much away. I think, generally speaking, hopefully what I could provide this summer is, just getting them to buy into having a routine every day, right? Within that routine, having discipline in what they do, not just go through the routine, in a very monotonous way, but having just a form of self-discipline. Baseball, it's a hard game, right? And so the more you can trust, the process and what you do and the work you put in, if you stay the course, I think good things will happen in the long term. One of the favorite quotes I guess I shared with Isaiah the other night is patient endurance attains all things. You can carry that over in baseball, you can carry that over, in just your life or your spiritual journey, like whatever it is. And so, just little things like that, hey, just want to get them to hopefully, do what they do at a high level every day, every time.
Wise words from Chatham assistant Taylor Sanagorski. Taylor, thank you for joining Catch of the Day.
No, thank you guys.